Three, two, one. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Central Network. Welcome to Access to the Archives. This is Decibel Doctah. Yup. Giving something new a try today. Gonna see how it goes. Welcome to the Netcast, Episode 0, the pilot. I guess this is just a stream of consciousness. It is the pilot, so we'll see how it goes. I've never done a podcast before, but here we go. So I guess we should start at the beginning, see how far we go. Wrote down a bunch of stuff on the list to see what I could get into. And then we'll see how much we get through that and, save some shit. Maybe there'll be episode 1, episode 2, a season. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know what direction this will go in, but just gonna try it out, have some fun. Why not? Today is, it's about to be October 1st, 2024. Yeah, man, 2024. Time's just flying. Shit crazy. But, yeah, so let's just dive into some topics. Topic number 1, beginnings. Shit, man. The beginning starts thousands of years ago. But more relevantly, late 80s, early 90s, my family moved to Chicago from Guatemala. And I was born the third born son in 1992. And music it's always been there since I can remember. One of the earliest memories of media would be finding records in my parents' garage. I specifically remember the record player in the sound system. The record player is broken. I think the sound system still worked, but by the time I was born, we weren't listening to those records. We were already on cassette tapes. I remember Rolling Stones on vinyl and Queen record on vinyl and maybe something else, I forget. But yeah, we were listening to cassette tapes in the fucking 89 Nissan Sentra, red. Would be Michael Jackson Thriller. What else we have? Rod Stewart. What else we have? ZZ Top. Those 3 tapes were always in rotation. But then, you listen to all the traditional Latin stuff too, you know, merengue, cumbia, bachata, salsa, corridos, you name it, everything. We were playing it. I guess fast forward some years, you know, CDs started becoming more prominent, you know, as I was growing up in the 90s. We would go to, parents would take us to the Rolling Stone record shop here in Chicago in Norwich. We would buy CDs back when people bought CDs. And some of the earliest CDs I remember us buying were like the Misfits collection, the yellow one with the skull. I remember we bought AFI, All Hallows EP that day too. And one more, I can't remember, but yeah, we were buying Korn, we were buying Slipknot, we bought Soulfly Prophecy, Static X Shadow Zone. We had so many CDs. That was just like an incredible era of music. Anything you like, you know, the hip hop was golden era. You know, rock and roll and metal was going through the new metal thing, but, you know, very expansive for what it was at that time. You know, kind of right before everything went commercial, and that laying around, you know, kind of like 2002, 3 was when things started getting more commercial and shit like that. But what was I talking about? Yeah, fucking buying CDs, a bunch, man. That would always be like the thing you looked forward to, you know, go to school and shit, and then like you gotta do all the homework and all that. And then you get to buy a CD at the end of the month, and then, you know, you got something new in rotation. You and your buddies would talk about it, just, you know, share music, you know? Fucking Deftones, Sum 41, Blink-182, System of a Down. Man. So, you know, me and my brothers and I were, you know, listening to all these CDs, and you're a kid, you're growing up, you're going to school, and then, you know, you do your chores, you get your little bit of allowance, you might get a little birthday money, a little Christmas money, something like that. And then, with the first little bit of money I had saved up, just as a kid, 12 years old, 2002? No, 2004, something like that. My brothers convinced me to spend that money on a guitar, because I didn't know what to spend it on. So, you know, we're all just like staying up late, midnight, when MTV2 would come on the regular channels. You go on channel 28, and then it would be feedback all the way until about like midnight or 1 a.m. or something like that. And then MTV would kick in, and then boom, Headbangers Ball. Hell yeah. And then, you know, we'd stay up late listening to music. And yeah, so they convinced me, said, you know, we're just talking, like, what do I spend this money on? What's the one cool thing that we can get that's just going to be fucking badass for us? And they told me, let's get a guitar. And I was just like, whoa, damn, you're right. So yeah, shortly thereafter, my mom took us to Guitar Center out of Arlington Heights, and and that was the day that I bought my first guitar. It was a BC Rich Warlock Black. pretty fun, you know? Get your first guitar, learn how to play a little thing or two. And we were all learning it together, my brothers and I, you know, just take turns, figure it out. Yeah, the memory gets a little hazy going all the way back to those years, but doing the best I can to remember this stuff and kind of tell you what my story was like in those early years. But yeah, I played that guitar in like fucking 6th, 7th, 8th grade, something like that. And then my brother learned drums and my other brother learned bass. And then through somewhere throughout that whole, 2001, 2, 3, 4, those years, we're skateboarding too, just letting it rip all day. After school, all the way till 11 o'clock, get yelled at when you get home. And us not understanding growing up in Chicago. But now that I look back, I see, what my parents were concerned about. Yeah, skateboarding. Don't even get started on that. Might have to do episode 1 with the homie. We could riff off on that skateboarding. On those years, because that had a golden era of itself, 95 to 05, that's golden era of skateboarding. But I won't get too much off topic. So I played in a band with my brothers. Just kind of playing at home, playing with friends. Recording some videos. Maybe I'll have a photo. I have some footage on tape, but no way to convert that tape, so, those are deep in the archives, so to speak. So yeah, we would play covers, play some punk rock, Casualties, play AFI, the Misfits, stuff like that. So, I would play a little bit. Then I got into a different band some years later, also with my brother, but then also with, I honestly forgot how we met these cats. Oh, I think it was my brother. My brother had a homie who was in a band, and he was looking for a drummer, and that was my brother, but he told me to come through as well because I could do you backup guitar, and just why not? So we get there, and then it's my brother's homie's homie, his little brother, and their amiga. She was singing. And we played, I forgot what we played. We played like No Doubt, and then my brother and I had like 2 kind of like solo sections where we could just like bust off and improvise, do what we do while they chilled out. And then I forgot what other song we played. It was like a song in Spanish or something. But I remember, yeah, so name of that band was Kabbalah. That was only for like a summer, maybe 2 seasons, something like that. We played a couple shows. Then we did like a radio show in like, this is like 2008, 2009. around that time. By that time, I had sold the my first guitar, the BC Rich Warlock, and then I had bought my second guitar, made in Mexico, Fender Telecaster. Had a maple neck, had the body was painted in midnight wine. Yeah, I remember buying that one at Guitar Center too with my dad. So yeah, 2009, and then I'm in high school around this time and playing in the marching band. I was playing trumpet, did that for a year, and then in the next year, I wanted to play jazz. I was interested in all music around those years, just you name it. You know, grew up on rock, hip hop, and then you just pivot into other things, reggae, jazz, soul, the classics, everything. So I joined the jazz band. It's pretty dope, you know, gotta play and hang out with musicians, just people I wanted to be around and learn from, just surround myself with music, just made some cool friends, but you know, trumpet wasn't my thing, so I never practiced it. I was always playing guitar and, you know, hanging out with chicks and shit like that. You know, high school. But then, so halfway through that semester, I get kicked out of the jazz band. You know, teacher said, "You're not pulling your weight on the trumpet." So I was like, all right, whatever, you know. Took the damn L, but, you know, took a computer class I needed to graduate on time. So, you know, it kind of worked out. Where do I go now? So, yeah, the jazz band. And then I wasn't in a band, but I had the Telecaster. I was just playing. Didn't really have that much good gear. Just whatever I could get. And then, yeah, 2009. And then 2010, I graduated high school, go to college. Then I started working my first job. Freaking Tony's, yo. Tony's. So I worked at Tony's for like 2 years, something like that. And the money I saved up, yeah, this was like 2010, man. So, you know, the economy was different back then. You gotta fucking... The dollar menu existed back then, you know? I guess that's all I gotta say to get that idea across. You know, I was getting paid pennies. Fucking $7 an hour. How's that even possible? But, you know, we work with what we got. You make a lot out of a little. So the money I saved went back to Guitar Center, you know. I may have traded in some gear or something like that to get a discount. I can't remember, honestly, but that Tony's money went for my Grail, and I bought a Fender Mustang made in Japan. 60s reissue. This was like 2010 or 2011 when this happened. And yeah, so 2011, start going to college. And around this time is when I start kind of making beats. And I have my guitar and I'm, writing some riffs. I'm like writing tabs on chart paper, taping it on my wall, just having these riff ideas, but not having any recording gear or anything really. Just in my bedroom in my parents' house. Just a nobody. But, just growing up in Chicago. Just a kid from Chicago. So I make my first beat kind of, I want to say late 2010 even, because I have a laptop with Windows Movie Maker. And I had cut audio in the Movie Maker and made like I made a beat in there. It was like a jazzy piano loop, drum loop, and like a vocal sample, and that was it. But it was whatever, First shot. I don't think I was rapping yet. Not yet. I don't think so. No. But then I get a new laptop for college, and open up GarageBand, and then I start cutting up samples in there. So that's when I start getting my legs moving as far as making beats. So I started like making loop-based beats like 2010, 2011, 2012. Mind you, music is changing entirely while I'm delving into the world of digging in the crates and making sample looped based beats. So mind you, trap music is popping off, drill music is popping off, bop music is popping off, all around this time. So it's morphing in the city, and the once highly regarded type of hip hop that was prominent in Chicago, we're talking Chi Bangin', we're talking Seawall, Ill State Assassins, Twista, Kanye even. Starts kind of going into the background, You start listening to Chief Keef, Lil Herb, Lil Reese, Lil Bibby. And these are the guys, they're just popping off, going viral. And this is this is also the start of like virality, because the iPhone barely came out in like 2007, 2008 is when it came out. And nobody even had it until like in 2009, I only knew like one person with an iPhone, and you were that dude if you had it. The only other thing that was competing, not the BlackBerry, not the Sidekick, and not the only thing that was trying to compete was the Google phone, if you remember that. If you remember it. I'm trying to find a picture of it or something. I forgot what brand it was. It was like a Google phone. It was it Motorola? I can't remember, but yeah, cell phones. That's a whole other fucking tangent too. Shit. I'm gonna try to keep this under an hour for y'all. Where was I? College, beats, laptops, digging in the crates while trap music is starting to boom and go viral, But people weren't really used to listening to sample-based music anymore. Things were changing quick, and then 2012, 2013, I started rapping. I had all these beats, and my homies were rapping, and we were just all hanging, kicking it. So, while we're doing that, why not just put some shit on record, have a good time? And so that was the start of the next band, which is like a new reiteration of the first band that I was in with my brothers, because they were rapping too. So, all right, so 2012 is when I start rapping, making beats, and then I team up with the homies Amon Ray, Don Zeus, and then the bros, Wolfman, Dan Tuck, Fiddle for Real. Shout out. Y'all. Love you, bros. And so, so it was myself. I was going as psychologist. That was the first name I started making beats under. But as I started rapping, psychologist seemed a little too formal, so I switched it up to Psych Alive. And so it was Don Zeus back then. He was known as Mole Man. So Mole Man, Amon Ray, and Psych Alive under the group name Colombian Necktie. But there were a lot of bands named Colombian Necktie. So after probably one or two shows as Colombian Necktie, I changed the group name to Central Network. We grew up on Central Avenue. We grew up in Chicago. It's the center of the nation. And I'm from Central America, so it's a trifecta of Central. How to do it. Just made sense. And you know what? I think I should cut it here, because this is like the prelude to Central Network Incorporated. So, yeah, we'll cut it here. Just thank you for listening. And if you've been with me throughout that entire journey, I got mad love for you. Or if you're a new listener, you have no idea who I am or what I'm talking about, well then salute. And if you're somebody that I met along the way, that's been a part of the journey, thank you too. I guess in the next episode, I'll start with Central Network around 2013. Alright, y'all, this is Decibel Doctah signing off for Central Network, the Netcast, episode 0. We out. Peace.